Not many people know that, but actually while most of the altcoins are completely wrecked, 95% down or even worse in comparison to Bitcoin and Ethereum, actually BNB Coin, Binance Coin, is actually the only big top coin, number 3 coin that is actually outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum. Check this out. So Bitcoin is currently 67% down from its all-time high. Ethereum is also almost exactly the same, 67% down from its all-time high. And this was Ethereum's all-time high. And BNB Coin is only 57% down from its all-time high. So it's literally outperforming ETH and BTC during this bear market. And like, even though this is now the time when I'm making the video, I was checking this guys like a month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago. During this whole bear market, BNB Coin was actually outperforming with less downside than Ethereum and Bitcoin. That is absolutely insane. Now, we do have like major FUD coming in one after another after the FTX collapsed, and now the SEC wants to go after Binance and try to kind of eliminate them from the USA. We'll have to see what happens fundamentally with Binance Exchange, Binance the company. But generally, you know, if the SEC will really kick Binance out, it's just gonna be it would just look like Binance is gonna be the big behemoth of like anything that is not the US. And then in the US, maybe you're gonna have Coinbase, Kraken, or whatever, you know, their own like big company. But regardless, if Binance survives, and so far it looks like they are gonna survive, right? Because like when the FTX collapsed in a big way, like they had withdrawal of like only $1, $2, $3 billion worth of withdrawals in one single day. Binance actually had like $10 billion withdrawal, like 3-4x more withdrawals than FTX, and everything just worked perfectly smoothly. So looks like Binance don't have anywhere close to the same mess that FTX has done, if any. And personally, again, non-financial advice, just financial opinion, just from looking at the market, Binance, it doesn't look like they're gonna go away. Like maybe they will go away from the USA, but they don't seem like they're gonna be going away from the world. Okay, so guys, as you probably understood, today's video is about BNB Coin, so that was the introduction. Now today we're gonna discuss what are the possibilities that BNB is actually gonna follow Ethereum on the last 2021 cycle, and can it really reach similar levels? Okay, like Ethereum almost reached the 5k, can BNB reach almost the 5k again or something close to that? This is what we're gonna discuss. This is definitely like the number 3 coin right now, right, in the world of crypto, and it's like it's cemented at this place, right? In the past, like we kind of had XRP at this place, and sometimes, you know, some after the bull run, like here and there, we sometimes had Solana here, sometimes Cardano, but generally BNB like established itself very strongly. It's number 3 place here, and as you can see, like it's almost like 3x a higher market cap than XRP, and like 4x than ADA. So at the moment, it doesn't even look close that anybody is gonna displace BNB from number 3 coin. So all of that being said, guys, let's have a look on BNB. Let's try to understand also what Ethereum has done in the past to try and understand what are the chances of BNB really following the same path, right? So let's just first go to Ethereum. Okay, so in the last cycle, okay, Ethereum was approximately like the very low was $80. Like I highly doubt, I don't think BNB will go that low, but generally speaking, kind of the lower range of the last accumulation phase of Ethereum, which was in 2019, and personally, non-financial advice, I think 2023 is a similar, more or less, year to 2019 in the sense of being an accumulation year. It still could be a bearish year, but like generally, I think these are the times that are not going to be very bad to accumulate for the long term. So for Ethereum, it was like between 100 to even 300. Okay, so it's relatively similar prices. It's not exactly like BNB is, you could say approximately like 2x higher than that, right? Like because it very rarely was like below 200, as we can see, like back in when Celsius and Terra Luna kind of collapsed. And generally, you see, it's almost always like between 200 to 300, and maybe like the higher end of the accumulation phase for BNB, maybe it's actually even gonna be all the way up to this top here. Let me move this a little bit. Maybe up to this top here, right approximately maybe 450. maybe this could be equivalent to Ethereum, like a 3,400, okay, last cycle. And then of course, once we did have the bull market, right, we kind of started taking our way, and then bam, like early 2021, we had this major bull market, and Ethereum finally reached the 4K levels, okay? So today we'll try to understand what are the chances of BNB doing that. Now, first of all, okay, so far, okay, it looks like we are establishing here these levels of the 200 to 300. Now, a very important thing, guys, to remember is, look, the peak for BNB was actually, maybe more precisely, $686. Okay, and it was like a double peak, really, right? Like just like for Ethereum and just like for Bitcoin, BNB's peak kind of peaked twice. Okay, like in May 2021, collapsed for a mini bear market, and then back to again 670 or so. And generally it had a double peak, right? Very similarly to Ethereum, the double peak here, and also similarly to Bitcoin, right? Double peak, because BNB became like a really large coin. So for example, coins like Solana, they made an extra 4x from their May highs, but because BNB was already very big and established, just like Ethereum and Bitcoin, it had this double peak, okay, just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So the peak for BNB, because it was $686, it's very important to remember that actually Ethereum's peak in January 2018, if we kind of take everything back, okay, one cycle back, Ethereum's peak was $1,400, okay, $1,400. But as you can see, just the whole bull market at the time was totally different. Just look at this, like, Ethereum basically went from like $10 to $1,400, like 100x for the second largest coin, right? In BNB, I mean, it was relatively more tame. Like when it comes to like really the start of the bull market, it just basically went from like, $20 or so, 20 something dollars to 600. It still was like a 20-30x, it's fantastic, but it's still not, like this up only that Ethereum experienced in 2017. But that being said, guys, another important thing is that, okay, like Ethereum did go to 1,400, but because at the time it was so overpriced, and the parabola of that bull run of 2017 was much more crazier of a parabola than the 2021 bull run, as we can see here. So this is why eventually Ethereum also corrected a lot more, okay? Ethereum corrected like 95% down, okay? BNB in comparison didn't compare anywhere close to that, okay? It was like the very low so far was like 72% correction, not anywhere close, okay? So this is a super duper important thing that we have to keep in mind, that generally the crypto market is much more established than what it was in 2017 and 18, and this is why the BNB peak was also like relatively more tame. Like you could also argue that if Ethereum was also like one cycle later, if Ethereum was in the same cycle that BNB is at right now, possibly maybe Ethereum's peak was also approximately $600-700 or so, similarly to what BNB had. Just because, let's have a look here, just on the total crypto market cap. Okay, this is the total. So look at the difference of all the world of crypto combined, right? This was the 2016 and 17 bull run, and you see it was just really up only. And look, it went from like September 2016 or so, right? It was like only under $10 billion of total valuation for crypto, all the way to 800 billion, okay, 700.5 billion dollars, right? So that was like 70x or more for the whole like total crypto market cap, right? For us, from the start of the bull run, for us, I mean, from like mid 2020, okay, like September 2020 to 2021, this time we went from 300 billion to 3 trillion, okay? So that was like a 10x in comparison to the 70x we've had, okay? So hopefully that kind of helps you a little bit to get like in the right proportions, okay? Like how 2017 was a crazy bull run, okay, from 10 billion to 700 billion. And then 2021 was a little bit more like 300 billion to 3 trillion, a little bit more tame. So this is something that we have to account for, that it's very likely this next bull run is going to be look, if it's gonna be like the 2017 one, that's gonna be absolutely fantastic. We're all gonna be super happy. But like that's the best case scenario. We can't really count on that. We can consider that this is a possibility, but at the end of the day, you know, like it's much more likely we're gonna have a similar bull run to the 2021 bull run that we've had, which means that it's probably BNB is more likely to look a little bit more like, let's say if this was the peak, right, of Ethereum, like at the 700, so let's say this is the BNB equivalent, right? So it's gonna look, and it's not gonna correct as bad, right? So it's gonna like correct to approximately here, and then it's gonna look something like that, okay? So let's say from the 300, 400, right, dollars, like a 10x approximately for Ethereum really would have reached approximately 4K, $4,000, right? So the same here, if we really try to look at it like this, like if BNB is able to pull out approximately a 10x or maybe slightly more, we can reach approximately valuations of over here. We can reach valuations that are gonna be approximately 3K for maybe just under 4K realistically. But that being said, we have to look on one more thing, guys. We have to look also on the supply. Okay, so BNB and Ethereum have a relatively similar supply, right? Like 120 million coins against 157 million coins. So this is something that we have to consider as well. Okay, so it means that for BNB to reach the price of Ethereum in 2021, BNB will have to actually outperform slightly the market cap that Ethereum reached at the time, which let's have a look actually how much it was. I think it was, yeah, it was like almost just above $500 billion of market cap. Okay, so the current market cap of BNB is really 45 billion, right? So like, let's say like 100x from here is gonna be really $500 billion, and then if it's able to like do something like a 15x or so, or maybe like 10x to 15x, then we're starting to talk really about the 4,876 that we have in the thumbnail. But once again, guys, we have to remember that this is like, let's go out like this. It's not absolutely conservative prediction, but it's also not a degen prediction. I really think it's possible for BNB to even reach, maybe again, if Binance establishes itself as the main #1 exchange, and if the BSC smart chain, if the Binance smart chain also gonna be still like the #2 and kind of fight with Ethereum about #1 and #2 smart contract chains of the world, I think it's even reasonable that BNB can reach even maybe 10K, but that's also kind of dependent if can we really have like a mania bull run like we've had in 2017. But guys, I actually want to show you why I think it's not very likely. Again, it's an optimistic scenario that BNB reaches 10K, and actually we're looking at Ethereum here, sorry, that we're gonna reach like 10K, and also maybe Ethereum even gonna reach more than that. But guys, in this section of the video, I just want to give you some alpha about the last bull run. Just while I was doing the research for this video, I just kind of found something super interesting that I want to share with you now, guys. And the crazy thing is that really, I'll show you why I think like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and BNB, and all these large coins, maybe even like Matic, Solana, Cardano, maybe really, you know, the top 10, top 15 coins, maybe they're gonna react in a similar way in the future. In the sense of that, I think the next peak, again, non-financial advice, nobody knows for sure, but just the way I see it, I think the next peak is actually going to be similar to the BNB peak here of 600 and something, and for Ethereum like, you know, 4K and then 4K again, or Bitcoin 60K and 60K again. I don't know if it's going to be necessarily a double peak, but I just think the peak is going to be not like a parabolic one, okay, like not like the one that we've had here, okay, in 2017 for Ethereum, just like almost up only, but a little bit more tame like this one. Why? Because look, guys, retail back here in 2017-18, the retail just aped like crazy into Bitcoin, into Ethereum, and also to XRP. This is why XRP reached $3. So the retail did like sort of the coins that are like their price is very, like, you know what I mean, $1 or less, or like cents, or like Shiba Inu, like 0.00 something. But like In the last bull run, in 2021 bull run, it looks like the retail really almost didn't, at the peaks, right? Almost didn't care much about, like, you know, Bitcoin, because it was valued like 60K, Ethereum that was valued 4K, and even BNB that was valued $600. And I'm gonna show you something super interesting that I didn't really know this data up until today, that I want to show you guys. So check. Let's have a look on the volume, okay, of each of a few coins. First of all, BNB, okay. Actually, the best volume BNB had was really, let's just go a little bit more like this for that. The best volume for BNB was here, actually, okay. $22 billion traded in a single day. And then at the peak, like at the higher prices, it was 16 billion, okay. So 16 billion to 20 billion for BNB, okay, for the number 3 coin in crypto. Ethereum, of course, had a higher top, like, traded day, okay. It was here. Let's do again like this for more ease, okay. So yeah, the top, there you go. So actually at the collapse, it was $100 billion. That was the peak for Ethereum. And actually have a look that in November, actually, you never had like a mania scenario. At least here with Ethereum, we did pump super quickly. Let's get back actually to price. With Ethereum, we actually, you know, went from like 2K to 4K and then collapsed again. So we had a lot of volume here for Ethereum, being approximately 100 billion per day. But actually in November, okay, in the secondary peak, which was a higher price actually than here, have a look. Over here, Ethereum's, you know, like at the very best days, maybe it reached 40 billion, but it was primarily just 20 billion every single day. But as you can see, there wasn't like a mania of volume for Ethereum or BNB. And even for Bitcoin, right? So for Bitcoin, we also had, let's do like this again. Let's have a look here again in 2021. So actually the really single day that Bitcoin had the most mania and had also the most selling and buying was in the very beginning of 2021, as you can see here, $178 billion. But then let's have a look really on the peak, okay? So over here, you see we've had one day with 100. This was actually the peak of Bitcoin, when Bitcoin reached all-time high and everything. It reached 100 billion, okay, per day. And generally it was still like in the 30 billion and the 40 billion and so on, okay? So bottom line, remember these numbers, guys. So Bitcoin at the peak of November 2021, the absolute best day was 100 billion. Ethereum was even less, was like 40 something billion in November 2021, okay? And these are the top 2 coins by far in market cap, like just for proportion, like you have to understand, okay? Let's have a look on the volume today. You see, this is Bitcoin 16 billion, Ethereum 5 billion, and you see like stable coins, and then like the next one, XRP, is 10x less than what Bitcoin and Ethereum have, okay? So this is like are the normal proportions. Like normally the absolute best coin after Bitcoin and Ethereum has in volume has 10x less volume than Bitcoin and Ethereum. So like now have a look, guys, on, if you guys remember, like in the peak of the bull run, we've really had in November 2021, we've had 2 main narratives. One was the metaverse, Decentraland was the primary one, and Shiba Inu, meme coins, okay? So have a look on this interesting thing. In Decentraland, you see like the volume was, you know, approximately like now, I guess, right? What's the volume today? Yeah, 55 million per day. Okay, that's today in March 2023. And you see October 2021 the same, more or less. You see prices were also approximately the same, like 60 cents, 70 cents, and you know, 50 million traded per day. And then Mark Zuckerberg announced the metaverse stuff, and look at the spike, like 450 million, 4 billion, 25 billion dollars traded in a single day for Decentraland. That is like number 48, like not anywhere close at all to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So like 25 billion dollars traded for in a single day for Decentraland was higher than any particular day for BNB. Okay, and the market cap of BNB today is 45 billion and Decentraland is 1 billion. Like, do you understand? Like BNB is 45x a higher market cap than Decentraland, but Decentraland in this peak mania had a higher volume of primarily probably retail going absolutely nuts, having higher volume than BNB, the third coin, in like on par with Ethereum, the second coin. Okay, so this is Decentraland, and then have a look also on Shiba Inu, on meme coins that were in a way even more powerful for retail than Metaverse, and this was the peak here for Shiba. Okay, $36 billion per day, even more than the 25 billion for Decentraland. And this, like, again, this is like much higher than BNB once again, which was like 20 billion, and even higher than most days for Ethereum during the peak of November 2021. So you get what I'm saying. So next time guys, that we have the narrative that we'll have in the next bull run, whatever it's gonna be, if it's gonna be meme coins again, or AI, or Metaverse, or whatever, the next time we have like some big meme, big narrative that like a lot of stuff in this category is like going absolutely crazy. And once we have a volume that starts to surpass the volume of BNB or Ethereum, or at least being on par more or less with Ethereum, guys, this is like a huge signal, because look at the interesting thing, guys. Like, actually, these peak volumes, right? They were like at the end of October 27th, right? In Decentraland was October 30th. So anyway, that was like the end of October. So actually, like, the actual peak was still in November, even for Decentraland, right? Maybe not for Shiba, but for most, like, you know, like Ethereum, for example. At the end of October was still like, you know, 4,200, so it still had a little bit more, 4,800. BNB, let's have a look. So end of October, it was 500 and something, so it still even reached higher prices at 600 and something. And then it started collapsing only like at the beginning of 2022. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is that last time, at least, once we saw the spike in volume for Decentraland, for Shiba Inu, for this narrative category coins, you know, like, this was the signal at the end of October. And then we literally had, okay, we can see here on Mana, I guess, on Decentraland, we literally had, you know, like a lot of time to sell. So the peak was a month later, and then, like, I mean, December, I personally sold lots of altcoins in December, and you know, December was still pretty okay to sell. I mean, November was better for sure, but December was also okay. So if next time, you know, this is the kind of the alpha, right? If next time we have something similar, and then we have a, like, the peak is in the month later, and within the next month or two we have a lot of time to sell, this is like a huge signal that I'm definitely gonna watch in my I'm gonna also talk about that, of course, in my YouTube video once we're in a YouTube channel, once we start to reach these new bull run valuations. But this is gonna be a big one, guys. Like, you definitely should keep favorite, you know, this particular area of my video here, so that you remember, or just write it somewhere for yourself. And don't forget to subscribe. You know, I really like giving you free alpha here. I'm not being sponsored by anyone in the crypto world. So yeah, guys, like, this is just another alpha that I wanted to share with you guys about the volume and how to spot potential peak in a bull run, in the next bull run. And yeah, guys, and BNB, as we said, I think 4K is reasonable, 10K is optimistic, 4K, maybe 3K even conservative, reasonable. So I think like a 10x from here for BNB is very reasonable. But personally, in my personal strategy, you know, it's not a bad time definitely to buy BNB, but I guess, you know, the FUD, maybe me particularly, maybe the FUD slightly gets me with the SEC. I would still like to see what happens with BNB and Binance if they completely are out of the US forever. It could create some dip, but maybe this could be a fantastic buying opportunity. So guys, hopefully this video also gave you a lot of value. Subscribe if you haven't already. Also like the video, please. It's gonna help with the algorithm and things like that, and just more people are able to see the video. So yeah, that was another video with me, AR7, here every single Sunday. So I wish you guys a fantastic weekend and a fantastic week ahead, and cheers as always.